What's up, my people? You're not tuned in to me TV. Now, we gonna bring you all the stories about the stories that we need to bring you stories about. You feel me? So that's what we gonna do. Some stories might be good, some stories might be tragic, but hey man, that's how these stories go. I don't make it up. Yo, you already know it's me TV 1.0, and I'm back with another one. You already know, man. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the supporters, subscribers, man. Like and share if you care, man. And if you just want to support the channel, man, hit that sub and show some love. You feel what I'm saying? But today, we got Jay Prince and my boy, Long Live Takeoff. See, we all know Pops, Big Dog, Jay Prince Sr., right? But we also know the Migos, as you know, one of the top groups of our era. And we also know, unfortunately, we know Jay Prince Jr. because he's been making noise or has been making noise in the public eye for quite some time for whatever reasons, whether it may be good or bad. So I want to say this first and foremost. Long live Takeoff, man. Much love, much respect goes out to him, what he created, and as well as his family. He created the Migos flow. He created the flow for Quavo. He created the flow for Offset. But let me tell you something about this. When I first started listening to the Migos, I started listening to Takeoff. And then I got on to Offset. I didn't get on to Quavo until the group was pretty much, in the mainstream by then. It was already popping, basically. But for those of y'all who don't know, that's why Takeoff was as humble as he was and did everything how he did, because he was actually the creator of this, and he built the whole foundation to the Migos flow. And through the time of them building their status, they ran across Jay Prince Jr. And not just Jay Prince Jr., but they also ran across his brother, Jazz Prince. Jazz Prince was real close friends with Quavo and Takeoff. Not too much Offset, because at the beginning of the Migos, Offset was in and out of jail. So this is why Takeoff and Quavo was able to build a bond. As you see the picture of Jazz Prince, this is the older brother of Jay Prince Jr. This is Jazz Prince. He's like late 30s right now. They're a few years apart, but this is Jazz Prince, known as the businessman of the family, known as the one to, kind of, this the one you won't deal with if you're doing business, basically. So he orchestrates a lot of business. And through his time of working with the Migos, of course, he became very, very cool, almost like a brother type of relationship with Jazz Prince. So it was a night in Houston, specifically at the bowling alley, where this tragic situation went down. And for all of us who witnessed this or, was a part of this when this took place, this actually happened 2 years ago. 2 whole years ago. Probably 2 years and 2 weeks at this point in time. But we don't realize how long ago, but also how short amount of time has passed. And the thing that didn't sit well with me, well, one of the few things that didn't sit well with me at the time, not only was Jay Prince Jr. implicated in having something to do with Takeoff's unaliving, he also was implicated in a situation that happened with a guy called Duke the Jeweler. Duke the Jeweler was also unalive after coming from a dice game. It was a Jay Prince dice game. And not only was it's a Jay Prince dice game, it was how could I say, he won. Duke the Jeweler won a lot of people money. He beat a lot of people out their money. Not only that, he kind of made a bad mistake Duke the Jeweler did by coming there with all his jewelry and then not coming there with another person. And it was said that none of his jewelry or anything wasn't taken while this happened. But this happened like 6 to 8 months before the Takeoff situation actually happened. So you see Jay Prince Jr. name in the news for a lot of different things that has nothing to do with getting money or running a business or running a record label. At this time, where these things was taking place, he was hollering mob ties because he was trying to, how could I say, he was trying to formulate his own record business, his own legitimate thing, so he wouldn't just live under his father's shadow. But he gonna forever live under his father's shadow due to the fact that it's not too many people as big as Jay Prince, the father, that's in the rap game and still living and still, his father is a historical man, a legendary man, and he would never be able to live up to that name. So this is why he decided to, pretty much try to form his own legacy. But this left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth dealing with Jay Prince Jr. And Jay Prince Jr. is an individual that always seemed to find trouble. And here it is, Jazz. Jazz is the sophisticated businessman that you hardly ever see in any type of ruckus or any type of things that will bring his name down. Yes, he did have a lawsuit with Cash Money over the royalties from Drake. That's business. That's part of the business. You have people that play golf together and sue each other. You have people that do different things and even have friendships that sue each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's when you suing, 9 times out of 10 you suing the insurance company or you suing some type of other company. You're not actually suing that person, right? So that's just how some things go sometimes. But not to get too far off track, what I felt like and what I've seen that really rubbed me wrong is the fact that not only did Jay Prince Sr. and Jay Prince Jr. go on Gillian Wallow's podcast, $1 million worth of game, and supposedly from what I've seen and what he was saying, he had the police report. You had the police reporter, you had the reporter, you had the documentation that you don't supposed to have access to, especially in the open case. And here it is 2 years later and it's still an open case. Now, I don't know whether that situation really hurt or helped them, right? But you have to think about the artists that signed and affiliated with either Rap-A-Lot or Mob Ties. This did not look good on the CEO. This did not look good at all. Like, how you go on a podcast with information that you don't even supposed to have access to, but that goes to show you the power of Jay Prince. I'm pretty sure he got a couple of sergeants, chiefs, police chiefs, and whatever. I'm pretty sure he got a couple of them running around in the HPD or Houston Sheriff Department, whatever. Because let me tell you something. You have a lot of black police officers in Houston. You have a lot of corrupt police officers in Houston. And one thing, that dollar, some people just all about it. And there is not going to ever change. So the fact that he had this information so soon after this happened, yeah, that was very, very weird. That was very weird. That's a telltale sign that he got somebody in that force of facility, whoever on his payroll, that he was able to access that. But this individual, if I was anybody besides the artist that he signed to, I wouldn't be around this individual at all. See, it's a myth that still runs wild in Houston, like Jay Prince and Rap-A-Lot still control this motherfucker. But let me tell you one thing. You got these young wild niggas out here and they carrying something big, and powerful. You hear me? 223s, AK-47s, or whatever else. And maybe at a point in time, Jay Prince and Rap A Lot did run the city. But this not that time. This not that time. That time is damn sure over with. And he is not the big scary entity that he once was in the 90s. He's not that in Houston. Houston has formulated into a new Houston. These young dudes getting money. They ain't going by these old rules. These old dudes hate us. These old dudes talk down. These old dudes trying to keep the door closed for the younger generation. So that made the younger generation more rebellious. And now you see a lot of independent artists or a lot of Texas artists in general signing with outside, record labels, and they're getting pushed more than they would have in the past. But me personally, I like what the Texas music scene is becoming slowly but surely. But long live Takeoff, man. Long live Takeoff. Because this was a senseless act, and it was very, very sketchy if you ask me. But I appreciate all my supporters. I appreciate all the love. Like and share if you care, and hit that sub and show some love. I'll be back with another one on Me TV 1.0. Yeah.